All right, ready to dive into some fascinating stuff. We're talking confession, and I mean in the context of faith, how it's way more than just words, like a bridge from believing to actually living it out.
You know, it's interesting. The word confession itself, it kind of hints at that deeper meaning, right? Like it's not just stating a fact, it's aligning your words with something bigger, almost echoing a divine declaration. It's intentional.
Yeah, it's active, not passive, right?
Yeah.
You're stepping into that belief. And that takes us to Romans 10.910, like the cornerstone of this whole idea.
Mm.
It's not enough to just believe in your heart. Got to confess with your mouth, too. Why both? What's the interplay there?
It's about making that belief real, bringing it into existence. Think of it as appropriating salvation, like you're claiming a gift that's already there.
Okay, like it exists no matter what, but you're actively receiving it, making it yours.
That's it. It's not just God hearing us, but us taking hold of that salvation.
Almost like a contract, right? Both sides got to sign.
Exactly. And this whole idea of active participation, it goes even further. Remember that spiritual warfare angle in some of these sources. Confession as a weapon against doubt, fear, all that internal stuff.
Ooh, now that's an angle I hadn't really thought about. So is this just metaphorical, psychological, or what?
Well, even if we just stick to the psychology of it, think about it. Declaring something out loud, it has power, like athletes with their affirmations, or just saying, I can do this when things get tough.
Yeah, it's like reinforcing those neural pathways or something, right? Training your mind to believe it.
Exactly. And it makes you accountable, too, not just to yourself, but to anyone who heard you say it.
Oh, for sure. Which leads to public versus private confession, like 1 Timothy 6.2 of. That's all about public declaration. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's like if confessing strengthens your own belief, saying it out loud, it's like amplifying that.
It's like telling your friends about starting a new diet. Making that announcement makes you more likely to stick to it.
Right, but there's even more to it. Public confession, it has a ripple effect, it builds community, and might even inspire others. Imagine one voice speaking up, then another, then another. It's powerful. It's like it becomes this shared experience, strengthens that fabric of belief. And this whole community aspect, it kind of ties into this idea of confession being the start of something, not just about getting into heaven, right?
Yeah, it's not like checking things off a list. Like, okay, I said the magic words, now let me in. It's more about connecting.
Right. Connecting with, with a higher power and with other people who believe too. It's about a relationship, not just a reward, like you said. Like it says in 1 John 2.23, denying the Son, you don't have the Father. It's like confession is the key to that whole family thing, the beginning of the conversation.
I get that. That makes sense. Even if you're not, super religious. Think about any close relationship. You got to say how you feel, make a commitment. That makes it real. You know what I mean?
It takes courage, right, to be that open, that vulnerable, to say what you believe, especially when, well, maybe it's not the popular opinion.
Totally. Think about those early Christians, declaring their faith when everyone was against them. That must have been tough.
Talk about brave. And that actually connects to something else from your notes, this emphasis on bold confession.
Yeah.
Not being ashamed is not whispering a prayer in your room. It's owning it, even when it's hard.
It shows how much they believed it.
Yeah.
More than just words. They were willing to stand up for it.
And this leads to something else that's interesting, this idea that it's not just a one-time thing, it's ongoing. Lots of those sources talk about daily declarations, starting each day reaffirming your beliefs.
Like a mental workout, keeping those spiritual muscles in shape for whatever comes your way.
Exactly. You're making that conscious choice to realign yourself, remind yourself what matters.
Yeah.
But here's what I find really fascinating. This principle, it goes beyond just religion, Think about how powerful words are, period. They shape how we think, how we feel, what we do.
Yeah, it's like that saying, sticks and stones. But whoever said that, they obviously never had someone say something really mean to them.
Right. Words can hurt, but they can also be powerful in a good way, too. Like when someone gives you a real, genuine compliment.
For sure, for sure. So, like, even if we're not talking about, God or anything, just saying what you want, your goals, even just like, I am strong, I'm good at this, that can really change things.
No, absolutely. It's like you're kind of programming yourself. You choose the story you're going to live. And that goes for both good and bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you keep telling yourself you're going to fail, no wonder it's hard to succeed. It's kind of scary when you think about it.
It is. But think about the other side of that. What if you make a point of saying good things? Being grateful? Being kind to yourself, to others?
You're creating good vibes, right? Putting that out there.
Got it. It's about taking charge of what's going on in your head and using words to make it a reality.
Yeah.
So bringing it back to our whole deep dive here, even if someone isn't religious, there's still a lesson here, right? About like owning what you believe in.
Finding your voice and using it, like
Yeah.
for real.
Exactly. Making your insides and your outsides match, your actions and your beliefs. Whether it's, talking about your faith or telling a friend your goal, or even like admitting your fears to a therapist. When you say it out loud, it becomes clearer, more real.
It's like those thoughts and feelings have been stuck, and then boom, you give them a voice. And I don't know, it's something unlocks, you know. You feel more in control, more sure of yourself.
That's it. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. With confession, it's not just the words, it's what's behind them, the commitment, the journey they can start. And it all starts with just saying what you believe.
So if you're feeling, I don't know, inspired to think about things, those things you haven't said out loud, maybe they're holding you back, maybe they're going to push you forward, but whatever they are, don't be afraid to say them, even if it's just to yourself. Owning your truth, it can be powerful. You never know what amazing stuff might happen.